MICAH Misfit is a media personality, culture analyst, and founder of Bars Over Bodies, a platform centered on women wrestling, storytelling, hip-hop, and culture. Through commentary, interviews, podcasting, and music, she explores the intersection of character, branding, and representation in professional wrestling. I had the chance to sit down with her on this episode of One-on-One with Sylvia The Siren. I actually found you on social media when you had did a song for Lash Legend. I thought that was amazing. And yeah, it was like when she first came out from her first PLE with War Games, and I saw that you had dropped a track like right after, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I was like, wow, she's so creative. Another way that I was mentioned about you was my sister Lovely Laveau. She's also a creator. And she told me, she was like, you know what, you need to reach out to her and do a one-on-one because like she's extremely creative, and I think you guys will be great as far as her being on one-on-one. So again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to share this space with me. We are creators, and I keep this platform to bring on creators to basically tell about themselves. So yeah, but before we kick off the interview, I do want to ask, how have you been? Like, how's your mental?
Wow. That's how I know this is going to be a good interview off of that question alone. My mental has been a lot better, actually. I'm a big person. I'm big on talking about mental health and everything, but I can
Same.
honestly say my mental has been great. I mean, I'm still on that WrestleMania high.
So I saw that you was down there. Did you? Is this your first WrestleMania, or this is many of one?
So this is actually my second WrestleMania. So it's actually insane. My first wrestling show ever was WrestleMania last year. I'd never been to any type of wrestling show.
Wow, did you enjoy it? We was there, but we didn't get to actually go to the show. We went to World and got to experience some of the, events and activities at World. How did you like your experience for this year for WrestleMania?
Oh my gosh. Mixed feelings, mostly positive. So I'd say I enjoyed night one of WrestleMania, the actual show. And I think
Mhm.
there's a big difference in the experience of watching it on TV versus being there in person. Cause I heard a lot of negative things about night one, but being there, we were lit in the stadium. We were having a good time. So I definitely enjoyed Mania. World, there were some things that could have been better.
Mhm.
Versus what I experienced last year. Biggest critique I had was, where's the Jade Cargill merch?
Oh
Is
my
everybody cool? Is everybody okay? Because why am I walking in circles and I still don't see it in this big store?
God.
That was
Listen,
crazy.
I had to do a recap of my experience at World with my team, and that was the main thing I talked about was the merch. There
Yo,
was no representation of great merch for women of color and just the women division as a whole, but especially Jade Cargill being probably having the best match of the weekend with Rhea, and there was
yes.
no merch for Jade. I said the same thing. It's funny that you said that. Like there
Mhm.
was nothing. There wasn't even a
That's my
plush.
biggest that's my biggest critique, honestly, of that world experience. Because, and I'm sure we're gonna get into it. Everything
Yeah.
turned around for me when I met Jade,
Mhm. I
and we
saw
had
that.
that interview. That's when I said, maybe world isn't that bad. I completely switched it up at that point. But overall, that was
Yes.
okay. But the Mania event was fantastic. Being there live, it was fantastic.
Another thing I saw in Mania that, happened with you was that Bianca shared your reaction when she dropped the news of her being pregnant. I was like, yo, I saw that. Because, I follow you on social media and I saw when she dropped all the reactions of when she announced her pregnancy and you were on the video. So that was huge. That was
That was
huge right there.
huge. I want to also say I was
Yeah.
not faking my reaction. I've been told there's a lot of creators who will do that. That was real life. And I wasn't even going to post it. But my friend
Right.
next to me, she was like, you got to post it. Just do it now. Just do it now. So I was like,
Yeah.
ah. So I'm glad it worked out. Shout out to you, Bianca. You're the GOAT. You are
Yes.
still the GOAT. You
Yes.
can't spell WrestleMania without the EST. And we did not this year either.
Okay, listen. No, I saw your reaction. Very authentic. You are definitely right about that. A lot of people, do reactions just to kind of like fit the quota of getting that, internet break or getting that viral moment, but yours seemed very authentic. And I was like, oh my gosh, he shared your reaction. So that was super dope. You really had a really good WrestleMania weekend. I saw that. I was like, you was working, you was cooking.
I was going, I mean, I think it was, what was that, midday, meeting Jade, talking to Jade, interview
Yeah.
Jade. Then by the night, performing at Mark Henry's event. I was moving all around. So
Well, listen, we love ourselves some Mark Henry. I call him, I call Mark Henry the godfather of wrestling, like the godfather of wrestling for the females, because
great
like he's
name. Great
Jade
name.
and he's Bianca's godfather that introduced them to wrestling. So, a lot of people owe
Yes.
their career to him, but I love Mark Henry. So nice.
He's
Okay.
amazing. Shout out to you, Mark. Amazing.
Yeah, he gave you a cosign, which we're gonna talk about. I just want to know like your thoughts. But yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna get in the show, and I
Yes.
definitely want to hear some of the feedback of the cosign about that. But to kick off the one-on-one, I just want to ask, what made you fall in love with wrestling, and how did that evolve into content creation for you?
Great question. So I loved wrestling as a child. I mean, of course, all of us did, right? It's like, who are these superheroes on our screen? And back then, my favorite wrestlers were John Cena, The Undertaker, and I don't know if this is a plot twist, but Batista. Those are my those were my top 3 back then, and I just remember the amazing feeling, just watching it, and it was magical. But then I fell out, like a lot of fans. I stopped watching when I found out it wasn't real. Heartbreak. I can't articulate that type of heartbreak. So I was like, "Oh, I'm done with this." Well, fast forward, there's this new girl on the block, and I heard she's a soror, and her name is Jade Cargill. And I start following her a bit more, and I'm like, oh, she's kind of cold, and she's a black woman doing this. That's when I was introduced to AEW. Well, then she moved over to WWE, and I always say me and Jay got drafted to SmackDown together because now I'm back in WWE watching the program, and I go, oh, this ain't just the Jade Cargill show. This is the women's show. This is the
Oh yeah.
women's division program. Once I got locked in there watching WWE, I mean, I was doing crazy research going back. I felt the horsewomen. It was amazing. Everything I was seeing, I was so excited, learning all the different wrestlers, and the women were killing it so much. I said, I'm locked in, and I've been locked in ever since.
That's amazing. It's funny that I fell off at one point too, especially when I went to college. When I went to college from 2009 to 2013, I kind of fell off with watching wrestling, and I was into Total Divas. Total Divas got me back into
Mm.
watching wrestling.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, no shade to the Bella Army. I liked them, but I didn't love them as much as I love Naomi and Natty. Like they're the reason why I watch Total Divas. And then corporate life took a toll on me and I had to take another break. And then when I actually met my husband in 2017, he brought me back onto watching wrestling. So, we
Wow.
will, yeah, we would watch PLEs, we would watch shows, and I just kept asking him questions after question. He was like, you know what? I'm going to get you back into this. So he had me watch so many important matches, so many important documentaries, and so many important PLEs to familiarize myself back in to wrestling and get me to understand like the knowledge and the concept of what wrestling is all about. And I've been hooked ever since. So it's funny that you said that because it's kind of similar to how
Wow.
I got back in. And I'm very hefty on both the women's and men's, but I
Okay.
love the women's down. But so Jade Cargill got you back into like, loving the sport of wrestling.
She
Listen,
did. She did. And I get so much heat and flack of covering Jay Cargill a lot. But that's my girl. Like this is what got me back in it. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. So yeah.
you know what? She was on the channel. I got to interview her and I
And
met
I
her
saw
at
that. I saw
yeah.
that. I'm locked in.
Yeah, amazing woman. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I got to actually meet her at Evolution. And might I say, she definitely is going to be making more history than what she's making right now in the wrestling world, just because of the type of person that she is. You know, there's not going to be no other Jay Cargill at all. When I say she definitely is making a target on the women's division. Like she is standing on. I actually did for women's Black History. I had did a spotlight on her, and I basically talked about like her accolades in like a form of a script, and I acted like I was like a manager. It was funny, and she shared it. she shared it. She was just like, "Oh my god, I love this." I was like, "Oh, thank you." She was like, How did you come with this?" I said, "I created a script." She was like, "This was amazing. Thank you so much." She is by far the most sweet, most genuine person. And yeah,
Yeah.
that interview that day. Oh yeah, she was cooking. she she was cooking that day with us. I was like, "Oh, are we getting
Yeah.
some Easter eggs?" I ain't gonna lie, I really thought that we were going to get a Jade and Charlotte Flair, because the way the Easter egg she was dropping, I was like, okay, we're getting that in Mania.
Right.
But unfortunately, they pivot, which
And
it
that's one of
happens.
my dreams. That's one of my dreams because Charlotte Flair is one of my favorite wrestlers. I mean, ever. She's in my top three. I love Charlotte Flair.
Same. I am a huge Charlotte. Listen, my top three definitely is Charlotte Flair, Bianca, Naomi, Jade. Those are my girls right there.
That
But
wasn't three, that was four.
yeah, I'm sorry. That was four. I had to keep it going because I have more than just three. It's kind of hard because I love the women's division. Everybody has their own type of quality that just engages me. Like you just can't have one
Mhm.
favorite, I feel like, because with
We
the
have the
women's
same
division.
group. I don't know
Yes.
how that just happened, but you actually listed all the same people as me. I would throw in Becky Lynch, though. I love some Becky Lynch.
She's my husband's favorite wrestler.
Becky is
Yes.
that girl.
I love the fact that she trolled being like the Hogan, like I'm the opportunist, but that was her way of elevating like women and putting women on. So yeah, I like that Becky is taking a stand for the women's division to like put on talent and put over talent. So yeah, I like Becky. But out
She's
of the four
definitely
horsemen,
elevating the belt. Oh yeah, it's Char, huh?
yes, Char is out of all the four horsemen, Char is my favorite.
That's the
Char is
right
definitely,
choice. That's
yeah.
actually the correct answer. There is one, believe it or not. There is a correct
There Definitely. So yeah, let's tap into about how you started Bars Over Bodies, which is amazing, by the way. Like I said, I've been watching and seeing you post. Now, tell me, what was the moment that you realized that the culture needed the shift in how women wrestling is covered?
That's a great question. So I was thoroughly enjoying the program whenever I watched the women. I honestly felt like they were more attention grabbing than the men. And it could be because of the evolution of the women's division. I mean, imagine how drastic of a change it was for me being a little kid seeing, and shout out to them, Trish Stratus, Lita, Stacey Keebler, all these people back then, right? That's my
Yes.
era when I was a kid. So I'm seeing them, and then you jump, and now you're in the four horsewomen. Like, it was such a crazy, drastic shift. I was like, this is exciting. More people have to know about this. And I've rapped since I was 6 years old. That's my
Oh,
greatest passion. So I was just thinking, how could I combine it to where I could mix women with the hip hop? Okay, I'll just make a song called Bars Over Bodies and see how that goes because the bodies, like the body slams, the bars, the raps. Let's just put it all together and see what happens. And that's how I got started. I just wanted to shine more light on the ladies and do it in a creative way.
amazing. How long have you been doing Bars Over Bodies?
That's a great question. So, Bars Over Bodies, the song came out at the end of August,
Okay.
and I started the podcast in October. And it's actually really funny. The first time I reached out to Jade Cargill saying I wanted to do an interview, I said my platform, Bars Over Bodies, had not one podcast episode out. No episodes out, just a leap of faith. She
Yeah.
responded later. Actually, the timing was crazy. She responded later when I actually did have the platform. But I was just shooting for the stars. What do they say? Shoot for the moon, trying to land among the
Yeah.
stars. But yeah, so the song in August, and the actual podcast in October, and that's when it really came together when I actually had the platform there.
Excellent. You know what? Taking risks, a lot of people don't understand like taking risks is the way to go to be able to be successful. So it sounds like you created your own opportunity by shooting that shot with Jade. Listen, like I said, she's putting on for black creators. I love that about her. And I love the fact that she's giving women of color the opportunity to be able to be in that space. So I just want to talk a little bit more that you had the privilege of meeting top stars both in WWE and AEW. We talked about how you got a co-sign from Mark Henry. You met Jay Cargill, interviewed Jay Cargill, and you also did Tony Storm. How was that feeling when you heard that Mark Henry co-signed you of your music? Like, I really want to dab into that.
That was a shock. So Mark first DM'd me, when I went viral on a video, I was getting a lot of hatred. And I just made a video, exposing the hate and pretty much saying, I'm not scared. It was like a, what are you going to do? Sink or swim. And that's when he
Yeah.
first reached out to me, just saying, we got to do a powwow. It wasn't even off music yet. So I'm like, okay, well, Mark DM'd me. Let me send him my music too, because my song dropped the next week. He heard it, instantly commented and said, I'm playing this on my radio station. Hopefully the women hear it. And I'm like, Mark Henry, and he really did play it and sent it and said, did you hear it? I played. He wanted me to know I did it. Did you see? And that was the start there. And we would communicate here and there. I did another song called The Real Deal, where I shouted him out, where I said, I've never bowed down, changed my life when Mark Henry hit me for a powwow. And he liked that too. And he was actually talking about it with Jonathan Coachman on his show. And they were just
Yeah.
talking about the song. And he's so random. He'll be like, hey, talking about this John right now and it's like, Mark, it's a random Tuesday. I'm not prepared for this. But just randomly showing love. And finally we get to where we were a couple of weeks ago. And he goes, hey, you gonna be in Vegas? Yeah. I want you to perform. Oh, okay. He just, I mean, just like that. And you're thinking, no way this is real. I mean, yes, I talked to Mark, but he can't be serious. He was serious. I sent him my track. We discussed the details of it. I showed up and he had the biggest smile when he saw me. I've never met him before. And he's like, Micah, what's up? And it was just all love. I mean, he was giving me advice. He was just really a cool, kind guy. And when I got on that stage, didn't expect that intro he did for me. I said, oh, like really hyping me up to get on stage. Now I'm in my bag. And after the performance, I mean, when he said, I consider her family, that like, you can't plan for moments like that. I can't even articulate how much that meant to me, and we're locked in.
I just want to tap in. Is there a dream interview or collaboration that you're looking forward to, or a wrestler you want to meet but did not have the luxury to meet yet?
Wow, that is a great question. And my answers might shock some. So, a wrestler that I want to meet and really want to meet is Rhea Ripley. I can't deny the aura. I want to meet Rhea. I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan. If you look at my Bars Over Bodies song cover, Rhea
Yeah.
Ripley was on that cover. I only had four women. It was Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, our girl Naomi, and Rhea Ripley. Like, I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan, so I would love to meet her. And as far as interviews, I have to interview the GOAT, Bianca Belair. What?
Oh
What?
yeah.
She's the only wrestler that I could make a fool out of myself. Too. That first meeting, and she says she remembers it. That's the thing. But no, that would be my dream interview is Bianca Belair.
I cried when I interviewed her. I was like, "Is this really happening?" I was like, I was pinching myself. I could,
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
so. People might say it's unprofessional. I was crying. I was choking up when I was asking questions. And yeah, she's amazing. Like, oh my gosh, that's my goal right there.
Yes.
I can't wait till she come
Yes.
back. And she just announced that she's having a boy, which I kind of saw because the
With the
blue and then
blue.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, she's giving an Easter egg.
I thought
Okay,
that
cool.
was the what do you call it? The
Gender
announcement. What do
reveal.
they call
Gender reveal.
I thought that was the gender reveal. I thought we knew it was a boy.
Yeah, I kind of was like, okay, it's a boy because what they say, because I have a boy too. I have a 3-year-old, and the biggest thing they say about when you're caring for a boy is the glow, the smile, and then the beauty doesn't
Mhm.
go away. And I just saw it, and it's just the way she was carrying. I was like, yeah, she's having a boy. She's having a boy.
Yes, yes, yes,
that,
yes.
that's a
Our
champion,
girl.
baby.
It oh my God. It's Bianca Belair. Like I just get so excited talking about her, the accomplishments. Now that's
Yes.
somebody's career I studied. That's a
Yes.
career I've studied for
Oh
sure.
yeah. It's funny because when Naomi had announced her pregnancy, I said, "Wow, that's a champion baby too," because she had to relinquish the title with the world women's
Mhm.
world title when she got it from Evolution. So it's just it's just crazy how they was in a storyline and then they both got pregnant technically at the same time in a sense. Like that was nothing but fate.
Yeah.
And they
And it's that
both
same date. That same, what was it? Both the 18th, right? Weren't they both on
yes.
the 18th? Did you see that post?
I saw that post, and then I also saw when it says, "Don't be in a triple threat with Io and Rhea because you're gonna wind up pregnant." I just thought
That's
that
the
was
curse.
hilarious.
That's the
That
curse.
was
I
that
never
was
saw
cute though.
that.
But it's just, I know both of them kind of had like the same background with wanting to, have biological children and everything like that.
Mhm.
And especially with Total Divas, Naomi was saying for a while how she wanted to be a parent, and they both got the opportunity. Same thing with Bianca with her show with Montez. She was saying, I want a baby, I want a baby, was going to the store getting a little onesie.
Yeah,
She
that was a good show
manifested.
too.
It was. I was hoping it was going to be
Yeah,
reoccurring, but I could understand with doing the reality TV and then being a wrestler at the same time, it could
a
kind of
lot.
have a lot and some type of negative aspects considering what happened with like Total Divas. But it was a great special that they had because we got to know a little bit more about them as a couple, her and Montez. But yeah, I'm just
Right.
happy for them, and you got to see it in real time. Like you got to see it in real time. I watched it at the bar and I cried.
I, I had tears. My aunt said, "Y'all acting like Michael Jackson came out." Yeah, in wrestling. Yeah, in the
In
wrestling
wrestling.
world, that is what happened. You didn't know,
Listen,
did you? I'm here to tell you.
they,
Yeah, that was. I
they were looking
mean,
at me all crazy in the restaurant. I was like, "Bye, you don't understand. You
because they
don't
don't get it.
understand. You
You
don't get
don't
it."
get
And
it.
I'm not about to explain because I was like, "Oh my god," I was crying. But I'm just salute to Bianca. I'm just so happy for her. But
Yes.
I want to talk about some upcoming projects. I think now you have a project called Misfit Mania that you're about to drop, I believe. What can we expect from that project?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that song. That's going to be me recapping my entire Mania experience because you hear people in the wrestling world always talk about that, the Mania moment, they had their Mania moment. I believe this was my Mania moment. Um, this year, getting to interview Jade, getting the co-sign for Mark, meeting all my content creator friends, creating just endless, countless memories. And it really felt like one of those times where, oh, I'm in alignment. Like I might have actually discovered my purpose. That's what my mania moment. That's what the mania moment is to me. So this song is just me going through the entire experience from me first doing content, which was only a year ago. I've only been in this space for 1 year exactly. Last week of March was when I posted my very first video ever. And I'm
Really?
just right. So I'm just this, I'm going from that first video all the way to where I ended up in WrestleMania, just taking the listener through that entire journey. I'm working on the music video right now. We're still editing. I got the official version of the song back today, so that's good. With the mixing and mastering, it's a whole process. The music video, we're getting that together because I always want to make sure it's perfect. I'm very like I know how I want it to be, you know. So I
Yeah.
think the visual combined with the song, I mean, I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited.
That's amazing. Now that we got through most of the questions, I do want to talk about the matches that happened at WrestleMania. Women specifically, could you tell me what was your favorite match of WrestleMania weekend?
Jade versus Rhea. I'm not being biased. I'm
No,
not being biased.
that
That
was
was
the best match of the best female match of the weekend.
Jade was in her bag. You know that bag
Mhm.
Kiana James got? Jade was in the bag. Okay.
That's a big bag Kiana
It's
James
a
be
big
carrying too.
she was in a big bag. What? That match was fantastic. And I watched that match a few times so I could really do a breakdown of the match.
Yeah,
I mean, from top to bottom, the storytelling in the match, the way the moves hit, I mean, perfect execution. I made a video where I said that match was either going to be fantastic, superstar level, or it was going to be awful. I said there's no in between. And it
that's
was
true.
superstar, fantastic level. And that's not to say the other ladies didn't show up and, do
Right.
what they have to do. They do that every time. So I'm
Yeah.
never surprised. When a women's match is great, amazing, not surprised. That's the standard they've already set. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I wanted to know. That's why I asked the question because I really wanted to know your take on how you felt that Jay, with everything that the media, the IWC has been saying about her talent and her skill set in the ring. I just wanted to know like your thoughts and your opinion on how does she do in WrestleMania with one of the biggest female faces right now of the company, Rhea Ripley. I just wanted to know your opinion on that. But I felt they had the best match of, the WrestleMania weekend. Like you said, not to take away from the other women, because, you know, with this Mania this year, we were very limited on women's wrestling card. And with her being the only women wrestling card on night 2, yeah, that said a lot. But
that was a lot of pressure too.
Yes. Were you at night 2 as well for WrestleMania?
So I was at night 1 and I was torn because I'm like, okay, I've been covering Rhea versus Jade this whole time. I don't get to see the match. But then on the other end, I get to see 3 of the 4 women's matches on night 1. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I mean,
Yeah.
so I was okay with that because the women's matches, I thought they were great first night. My only critique, which is a big critique, is that they were too short.
Yes.
That's my main critique.
That was my critique too, as well. Like, the matches were extremely short, and then the ads too. I was thinking, I just felt like when I was watching it from home, it was so many ads. But I wish the women build and also the matches could have been a little bit better and a little bit longer. But I agree with you on that as well. But Micah, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to do a one-on-one with me. Just let everybody know where they could find you at on social media.
Yes, you can find me everywhere. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, MICAH Misfit. You can follow me on Instagram at MICAH Misfit, X at MICAH Misfit, TikTok at MICAH Misfit 8. MICAH Misfit was taken. I messed up my account. It's a long story, but that one's MICAH Misfit 8, okay? And we're popping. It's going down on TikTok, IG, YouTube. We have a good time. But yes, I appreciate you bringing me on. You and your husband, y'all are incredible. This has been a really good time. Great interview, great questions.
Thank you.
A pleasure. A pleasure.
Awesome. Yes, this is Sylvia The Siren with 101. Thank you so much again, Micah, for coming on with me.
Sylvia sound the siren. Get it pumped like Big Papa. Break them off proper. Thugonomics, no doctor. Y'all don't put in work, but you talk enough, and the talk is tough. Who your favorite part? We'll chalk it up. Spit an apple in your face like Carlito, the cannon on. I get to twitching like Braun Breaker, the damage on. I can let the trigger go off and trade your boss, and then you dropping down the card, the price of a loss. You shut it down early, blessing. I'm more Monday Night Raw attrition. I go to 11. My thoughts are sinister. Go run to the minister. Okay. You ain't getting the push, better go get your gimmick up. I black out like the Ministry of Darkness. Cartridge hit your cartilage, you jonesing around until a steel chair hit your chest. You should be weird, cause I'm nice with the tables like Carolina X. It's lovely like Laveau, that if you ain't Beyond the Bell podcast, you got to go, yeah. Beyond the Bell podcast, like, comment, subscribe, stop playing, and hit that notification bell. Cheat.